Hey.
What is up, Cahir Club? Welcome back to another CahirLIVE live stream. How goes it? I hope everybody's had a wonderful, wonderful week without me. I'm sure you've enjoyed your time where I've been gone. I'm sure you've enjoyed that I've been absent. You know, I'm sure you've been not lamenting, the opposite of lamenting, enjoyful. I'm kidding. You missed me, didn't you? All tell me you missed me right now. Sorry, no, I'm excited to stream, excited to get back into it. You know how it is. Hello Brugger, hello Mango, hello Pumpkin, and hello Rob. How goes it? How goes it? I hope you've been well. I mean a little. You never miss. I'm glad to be back too, guys. Really got one of the best fan bases here, haven't I? Hey, you came back, and that's the important part. On Saturday, your first real performance. Want to know what they paid you? A t-shirt that you're never going to wear that says, I love...
Have a penny for your troubles.
Thank you. Insert name of your hometown. Performance? What you're performing? That's the thing I'm hung up on. The payment sounds like shit, but... There's most miserable week since the incident. The incident being you watching Hina get rejected, right? Just to check. There might be another incident I'm not aware of. Man be fishing, but I'll take the bait. Yeah, I was looking forward to streams again. You love to hear it. Anyway, we're back again with more shiny hunting. We're continuing on for the infinite. I thought I told you about performing at a public event for the residents of your hometown. You probably did. However, it would have been, maybe like, over a week, 2 weeks ago. It would have been 2 weeks ago. And my memory is really bad. Sometimes I forget my own name. But same, gotta point and laugh at the funny cat boy. Wait, where's the funny cat boy? Where's the... Because it can't be me, because I'm a tiger. Remember, guys? Anyway, let's get into the hunt. I need to dawdle. I can, Stop it. I can get roasted and torn apart by you guys and shiny hunt at the same time. Anyway... The Chino be back. It does. Will we get it? I should have built up the first encounter in hindsight. In hindsight, I should have done a big build up of the first encounter. Oh, W, but you don't have your sub anymore. Oh shit, right. It must have been a month since I affiliated Cahir is here. That's crazy. Well, I guess you could always beg for one on Wednesday. Or just give me your money yourself. But yeah, no, that'll be, yeah. Wednesday is soon, I heard. I heard from the grapevine. Mango flexing. That's so mean. That's so mean. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to that, but I'm just happy to be streaming again. It was funny because multiple times during the holiday was I like, man... Low-key miss streaming, and that was whack. I wasn't expecting to miss streaming on the holiday. You'd expect me to be enjoying the holiday, but no, I was like, man, I wish I could stream tonight. I was like, man, I could be... Whoa! Fucking giant W! The size of... You can't see it on YouTube, but, like, that W is gargantuan. Addiction. Yippee! I mean, like, yeah. Obviously, but I just enjoy it. You know, I enjoy getting called a catboy by people online. No, not that part actually. But hello, Jello. How goes it? I hope your week has been I hope that your week has been going well. And you got to chapter 14 of Fire Emblem: The Blazing Blade. Yo, GG. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. Blazing Blade is a pretty solid one. I like Hector and Elliot. Elliot? No. No, that's not his name. Wait, I'm gonna have to tell Haku that one, I think. Elliot. Your way of Wing. That is a pretty Elliewood. Elliot, Elliewood, they're pretty similar names. Really, when you think about it, not too hard. This shit, Elliot? What? Elliot Wood, Elliot Wood. Elliot Wood, that's his name, Elliot Wood. Yeah. This shit, yeah, no, I know you said this shit, Mango. I'm trying to figure out what you mean. Or are you just trying to say this? Favorite laws is definitely Lynn. You all know why that is. Lynn is pretty goated. Oh shit! You're not a... I immediately folded. Like, you went to defend yourself and then you immediately was like, no. Thomas streams Elliot. He does? That's crazy. Please don't promote your friends in my chat. How hot are you, Chris? I am dashing. Yo!
Goober.
I'm really attractive, I think. Temperature-wise, though, boiling. It's so fucking hot today. Not what I meant, and you know that. Yeah, but. You know. No, I'm absolutely scorching. However, my fan, I got a new fan. I think I mentioned my broken fan. I've got a new one now. I've got a new fan. So that's exciting, I think. Been getting into my new fan lately. It's nice to have it. Because there have been some nights here. Are you a fan? I'm a big fan of the new fan. It's a good one. It's pretty quiet as well. Let me check. Let me see. Because I'm pretty sure you guys can't even hear it. I just turned that guy on. Oh, that's good. That's some good shit, actually. It's not as hot now. It's the evening. It's not as hot now. It is the evening. But, that is some good shit. That is some good shit. Yeah, can you lot hear that? Can you lot hear a noise now? Are there any noises you lot can hear? Or are you chilling? Nothing. Nothing. Which means I can nothing, but my hearing's bad anyway. That's fair. I'll make sure to scream really loud when I get the shiny, just for you. Which means I can run it when I'm streaming. I can run it when I'm streaming. You can't tell because your fan is fanning you. That is a reasonable issue and dilemma to have. Anyway, it means I can run the fan when I'm streaming, which is really nice. It should cool down as the week goes on, so I shouldn't need it, really. But it means that... Oh, I'm going to keep it on for the rest of the stream, actually. I wasn't going to this stream. I was like, you know what? Let's not tempt fate. What if people can hear it? What if people can hear it? You also have a fan on right now? I was thinking this yesterday during my D&D session. And I've been thinking it today as well. It is so nice that I know so many Europeans. Because, like, we were all complaining about the weather. We were all complaining about the weather yesterday in D&D, because we're all Europeans. We were complaining about the weather in the Discord today, because we're all Europeans. Everyone here is a European. I don't think anyone here isn't European. I think I might hear a little something in your left ear. Well, that's odd, because the fan's on my right. I guess actually it would be on the left of the microphone. But I don't think that's how this microphone works anyway, so it's fine. Where's Felix for our American representation? Exactly. European? Yes. Hello SFA, how goes it? I hope your week has been going well. Hope your week has gone well in general, like the time span. since my last stream. I hope that's all gone well. I'm talking about my new fan at the moment, and being European. But yeah, point is, right, Europe is all in solidarity of this heat wave right now, right? Everyone in Europe is like, holy shit, it's so fucking... To be fair, I've heard a lot of Americans complaining about the heat as well. I think that the Earth is warming up. I think the global is warming. Oh, guys! Anyway. What was this? What fucking brainwave was I trying to squeeze out? Not been too hot for you? Kill him. So I'm guessing you ignore my fourth last message. Can't count which one's that. That's the one where he said he wished Lynn would bridal carry him. The issue was the conversation had moved on. And I was talking about my fan, which I'm a big fan of, by the way. Yeah, no, it means when I'm like, oh man, it's 30 degrees today, everyone's like, whoa, that's so hot, Cahir. I hope you're alright, you know? Instead of being like, 30 degrees? In the winter, it's 52 degrees where no, sorry, not 52 degrees, I'm American. It's 170 degrees Fahrenheit, where I live, which means that you're a fucking wimp and should die. Because you don't experience temperature the same way as me, because you're a fucking moron. You know, that's... Americans always do that bullshit. Tobin, hello, how goes it? I hope that your week has gone well. Your last week has gone well. I'm talking about fans and temperature right now. It's 18 degrees for you right now. It was 19 not too long ago. Can we throw Mango into the sun? Gonna start a Kickstarter right now. Gonna start a Kickstarter to throw Mango into the sun. That's what I'm thinking. 17 degrees there. Thank you, Brugger. You've just nominated yourself to also be sent in...
Bit rude that Mr. Catboy in it.
We're sending you into the sun. Don't worry, Brugger's going with you. So it's around 30, 31 degrees in your bedroom. Rob, I'm going to give you the option, because it might be cooler on the surface of the sun. It might be cooler on the sun's surface than it is in your bedroom. So you can also go. Same here, coincidentally. Okay, Jelu, also going to the surface of the sun. We've got like a nice little crew here. A nice little group. I'm starting to think it's going to be really easy to find you all. Because apparently you all live in the same fucking household, given it's the same temperature wherever you are. Actually, speaking of hot, yeah, I do actually have another 20 pull to pull for Shenhe on Wednesday. But that's Genshin talk, so we don't do that here. Oh, okay, that wasn't what you were trying to segue onto. You're gonna go slight BRB and open your windows. That's fair. Have fun with that. Anyway, I'll talk more about that on Wednesday, when the Cahir is Here streams return. Oh, sorry, Gary, stop pulling for Shenhe. Dependent on... I might tear into you on Wednesday, but that depends if the rocket ship to the sun is going tomorrow or not. Because obviously if that's happening, then you'll have already been sent to the surface of the sun by the time I stream. So it'll be a bit of a moot point. But you're also going to the surface of the sun now. We got quite the group going at this point. It's a borderline field trip. Has Finn been performing our duties of babysitting admirably? Again, we can discuss all on Wednesday. You reclaimed your Dondozo! Yo, you love to hear it! Also, you caught a shiny Curly Tatsugiri. After that, you didn't know it was shiny hunt, so you just shiny hunted for Lucario or Ryo. Oh, nice, nice. Well, that'll do nice in ZA, I'm sure. Bro, could you mind going downstairs and getting me some food? Well, fair. It's less hot than 31 degrees. It probably is, yeah. That's true and real. That's true and real. No seriousness, you actually got a banana? You love to hear it. I have a friend who wouldn't love to hear that. He hates bananas. But, I'm ambivalent on them. Been getting ambivalent about bananas lately. Man. I forgot how nice it is to just say words. You know? I'll always remember. I will always remember. When I went on holiday a few years ago with my dad. You know, me and my dad went on a nice holiday a few years ago. It was to Spain again, actually. We go to Spain a lot. He goes to Spain a lot. I go to Spain a bit less than him. But I got back from that holiday and made a joke to some friends, and they bust out laughing about it. And I got so elated from that. And then I realized that my dad hadn't laughed at a single joke I made that entire trip. I don't fully know why I haven't had that exact feeling this time. I'm trying to figure out which joke of mine my dad might have laughed at. Because he certainly didn't laugh when I told him I was pregnant. That was not something he laughed at. So, congrats, thank you. But, you know, now that I think about it, he did laugh quite hard when I told him. When I told him about the time I smoked weed and couldn't get into a burger. He found that quite funny. When's your due date? I'm an adult. I don't have homework anymore. Yeah, so I guess that's probably the time he laughed that, you know, meant that I didn't feel so, like, laugh-starved. You know? You know how it is when you feel laugh-starved. I know how it is when I feel laugh-starved. When's the due date for your pregnancy? Oh! $2027. But, what was I saying? I can't remember what words I was using before. But yeah, I'm happy to be streaming again is the point. Like, again, I was itching for it. I pressed the go live button and I felt elated, and I still kind of do. Maybe it will be massive when it comes out then. It sure will. It sure will. Is that a JoJo reference? What? Is the JoJo reference male pregnancy? Is that what you're talking about here? 2-year pregnancy part 5. Oh yeah! No, it wasn't. The Mpreg, however, was a JoJo reference. That part was. You know how it is. Mpreg is a JoJo reference, yes. That's the general gist here. Everything is a JoJo reference. No, some things aren't. Some things aren't. You got shiny Lucario last night. It took you a while to find it. You're pretty sure you failed the shiny Tinkertuff during it. Then you just cleared the outbreak and went on the way till you even found it. Oh, nice! Congratulations! You love to hear it. Cahir's mum is a JoJo reference. We're not going to dig into that one, I don't think. We're not going to... We'll leave that one be. We're going to turn back to Tobin, and once again congratulate you on the shiny Lucario. That is very exciting. Again, we'll go very nice. We'll go very nice in ZA, which you love to hear about. Yes. But yeah. 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 Okay. I've got other things I can talk about today. So, I saw fishes in Spain. I've already mentioned this. I'm gonna mention it again. I saw fishes in Spain. I'm just excited. Bring us any gifts? No, but I did bring back a lot of sand. So if you want that, if you want the sand. It's 12,222! It's 12,222! Let's go! That's a lot of twos. Sand. That's what I'm saying. Other than the sand, I bought back a new beach towel. Because we didn't bring any. And we got there. And I was like, I want a beach day. We're going to the beach at some point. To which my dad looks at me bewildered. You want to go to the beach? Fucking obviously I want to go to the beach. Yes, I want to go to the beach. I would love to go to... I would quite like to go to the beach. So we bought beach towels and I bought a snorkel. Which meant that So the first day we went to the beach was Tuesday? Was Tuesday? Yes, it was Tuesday. We went to the beach on Tuesday, you know, with snorkel in hand, went down to the beach. The waves were giant. I was like, whoa, big waves, you know, because that was pretty exciting. It meant that I was a little less confident about going anywhere near the rocks. Because if I went anywhere near the rocks, I would have gotten fucking splatted against them and died, and that would have been quite aggressive. But, it was really foggy under the water. Because of all the waves, all the sand was being kicked up, which meant that it was like really foggy. I could barely even see my feet when I was treading water. Which wasn't great. Because obviously I wanted to look below my feet at the sand. At the fishes in the sand. The ones that, most of them were probably like hiding because it was really wavy. And that's probably quite alarming when you're a fish. I'd imagine fish would be quite alarmed by that kind of situation. And shrimps. I didn't see any shrimps or any crabs. I'm actually quite devastated that I didn't see any shrimps or any crabs. Mostly crabs, I'm going to be honest. I really wanted to see a crab, but there were no crabs. There were no crabs. I didn't see any crabs. I didn't see any shrimp. I saw fish, though, because I didn't see them on Tuesday, because we went back to the beach on Thursday. That's right. We went back to the beach on Thursday. Now, that's exciting. We went back to the beach. It was lovely. It was sunny. The water was clear. And I dove in. I did a little bit of breaststroke into the water, plunging my snorkel down into the waves. And what did I see swimming amongst the rocks and the seaweed? It was fish. I saw some fish. That's right. I saw some fish. Bet you weren't expecting this joyful ending to this story. There were some big fish, maybe about as big as my hand. There were some littler fishes around as well, and that was pretty exciting. There was some...
Fish.
Real and true. There were some pretty colourful fish down there, actually. There were some pretty colourful ones, and that was pretty cool. I love a good colourful fish, you know. I was like, whoa, I just followed those around for a few minutes. They didn't like that. They didn't like me following them around. Gonna be honest. The fish seemed rather against the idea of me following them around. Should have grabbed one. I thought about it. And in fact, I built up the courage. I built up the nerve. Okay, mostly my worry about diving into the water was that it would fill my snorkel up with water, and then I wouldn't be able to use it to get back to the shore, which, you know, would have been a bit of a fucking issue. But thankfully that wasn't what happened. It emptied itself really easily. You haven't summoned Finn with the story. Disappointing. It's quite, isn't it? I'm gonna have to retell her when she arrives. I tried to dive and swim with some of the shoals of fish. You know, I know, like, I'm not. Is a shoal a thing? You got to go. Fair enough, Bruger. I hope you have a great rest of your day. What's it called? They're, like, often called schools of fish, but I'd feel weird saying those words in that order. I feel like someone would do, like, the eyebrow-raised emoticon. You know, the eyebrow-raised emoticon. Someone would do that, and they'd be like, and I'd be like, no, don't do that, thank you. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna be chatting more now because your arm is tired. SFA? What have you been doing? You see, that's the exact emoticon that I was talking about. Hey! Traveler and Finn, we got the double! We got the double return! How goes it, both of you? I hope you've been well. I hope you've been well since my last stream. I was just recounting my beach story, where I saw a load of fish. That's right, I saw a load of fish. One of you two is going to be more interested in that than the other. I assume, unless Traveler is actually a marine biologist. Which would be, I think, a plot twist, if I'm honest. I wouldn't expect that. But yeah, no, I... Let me take a drink quickly, because... Most died of boredom while you're away, not gonna lie. I'm glad to hear that I you see that everyone else, I need you all to start taking notes. Okay? Thank you, Traveler. Everyone else, write that one down. That wasn't even slightly backhanded like some of yous. You're interested? Hell yes. But, the fish. Yeah, so, I'm gonna, like, go back a couple of jumps. I'll show you backhanded. Oi. I'm not even trying to glaze or anything. I just have nothing to do. I mean, no, that's fair. That's fair. You said something. You did. But I feel like it was a little bit backhanded. Oh, no, you did. You said it was the most miserable week since the incident. That's true. I just got distracted because I was thinking about Blue Box. I just got distracted because that message made me think about Blue Box. I'm not even as, like... Still a big Blue Box fan, to be clear. But I very much, am less hyperfixated on it because it's been 2 weeks. You found a ticket tough. Yo, you love to hear it. Congratulations. I had an extra Genshin account to play on, so I wasn't bored. I see. But I hope you enjoyed. I did a backhand. It was more of a love tap. That's an interesting way of putting it. But yeah, we can talk more about dorsal fin and my Genshin account on Wednesday, I think. So I can't even notice. But only 35 Abyss stars. Crikey. No, I'm thankful. I'm being an ass. But what was it called? Fish, fish. Mango's right. Yeah, no, I went to the beach. The first day I was really cloudy in the water, so I didn't see any. But the second day I saw loads. There was some really colourful fish, and I followed them around. And there were some big fish, like the size of my hand, and that was exciting. There were, like, big groups of them as they, like, kind of swam amongst the rocks, and that was really cool. And then I tried to dive amongst some of the shoals, but as I dove into the water and submerged myself, My ears started really fucking hurting. Ever since I turned, like I used to love diving into the water and just swimming down in the water. That used to be one of my favorite things of all time. You know, I love to put on some goggles and just swim right down to the bottom of the water. I fucking loved that shit. I loved doing that shit. And then I turned like 14, and all of a fucking sudden, my ears started hurting whenever I went under. Whenever I go deep these days, my ears start hurting really bad. Once I went scuba diving, that should have been fun. Oh wait, no it wasn't, because my ears hurt. My ears were killing me the whole time, and then I cut my leg open on a rock, which wasn't great, and when I surfaced, I threw up. But, you'll put on goggles, you can roll, get the salt water in your eyes. Like, when I was at the pool, I didn't use goggles. But, like, at the beach when I want to look at fish. Because I love looking at fish. They're awesome. I think that happens to everyone, not gonna lie. I don't know, everyone else on that scuba diving trip seemed absolutely fine. They seemed to be chilling. Did you need stitches? Thankfully no. It wasn't that big of a gash, but it wasn't a nice one. It was not a nice one at all. And yeah, I threw up a bit after, but scuba diving is something that should be for me. It seems really fun. But El Bozo? So happy to be back. You guys are so kind to me all the time. I honestly feel like salt water's more gentle on the eyes than pool water because it's kin to tears because tears are salty. I mean, pool water hurts my eyes as well, I'm going to be honest. But that was a very interesting thing to say. You prefer salt water? I mean, yeah, I can't slate that. Hashtag not a doctor, but I think that sounds like some kind of inner ear problem. Thank you, Mango, and probably Google. Yeah, and I went to the doctors about it when I was younger, but they were like, oh, you'll grow out of it. And by the looks of it, I haven't grown out of it. Because when I tried to submerge myself and swim amongst those fishes, it fucking hurt. So that's not great at all, is it? To be honest. So I wanted to swim amongst the fishes and I didn't get the chance. But I got to look at the fishes, and that was pretty cool. There were a lot of fishes. There were a lot of fishes. The ocean's a cool place. I should go to the ocean more often. You know? Do you perchance use headphones very often? Well, what makes you think that? What? Maybe. Mayhaps I do. Hey Cahir, hey Mango. Did you know the ocean big? What? No way! Dude, that's awesome. You love to hear it. Hashtag not a doctor either. But that may have something to do with it. Fuck, is my gaming addiction fucking up my ocean addiction? But you know what's more big? Space. Right. Yes. Is this a segue to the fact we're sending you to the surface of the sun? If I could go into, like, the edge of space in, like, a snorkel, I would do that. I would go on a spacewalk. If given the option, I would go on a space. Think about how fucking sick space looks in space. I still need to find a place very isolated and away from civilization so I can gawk at the full Milky Way. Like that, I've not done that yet. I need to do that. If you send us to the sun, you'll have like 2 viewers. You can just watch me on the sun. Go on. Just use a speaker, especially if you live alone. No offense. It's honestly not too different from headphones. Or I don't. Stars. I am Gen Z. Which puts me in the exact age bracket to struggle to find employment. What is it? What percent of Gen Z still lives with their parents these days? It's a lot. It's a lot. But, plus, I want to get the headphone dent. Come on, you know? I really want to get that dent in my head from the headphones. I think having that dent in my head with the headphones would be really cool. What year's a Gen Z? It's like 1998 or something. To 2010. You know, I'm just going to Google this. Gen Z age range. (1997 to 2012). So when you think about it, Gen Z ended the year that the world ended. Because everybody knows the world ended in 2012. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, so you're technically Gen Z? You thought it was until 2010? No, it's not. It's, I mean, I would have thought it was till 2010 as well. As that's what I said earlier. But no, it's a little longer than that. Makes sense, because again, the world ended in 2012. Everybody knows this. I remember the movie 2012. It really freaked me out as a kid. I had a nightmare after watching the movie 2012 that there was a giant flood. And that was scary. How often have you guys had to contend with your mortality in your dreams? So I believe I'm one of the funny middle childs. Oh, are you like 1997? That's weird. I would have pegged you in the 1980s, Mango. Oh, do you mean you're like in between the middle of Gen X and millennials? I think that might be what Mango means there. You're 96. I did not think you were that old. That is a lot older than I thought you would be, Mango. Like, I've heard your voice and you do not sound 96. That's I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Or should I just talk to myself again? Yeah, no, guys, remember not to reveal your age on the internet. At least twice per day, you have dreams about your own mortality. Dreams. Whoops. Why is Rob whoopsing? I'm imagining here. Oh no, he's whoopsing at Mango doxing himself. I just realized. Those are rookie numbers, guys. We're not power scaling, fearing death here. I'm just trying to say how I have had like a concerning amount of dreams where I fucking die. And the last few moments of that dream is me coming to terms with the fact that I'm gonna, like, having to come to terms with the fact that I'm about to die. I can't remember exactly what happened in the one I had recently, but something happened recently where, like, I got caught up in something that killed me, and, like, everything was white for, like, 5 seconds as I realized, oh fuck, I'm dead. That's it. That's all of it. And That was fucked up. The one that's really fucked up, the one that I dislike the most. Your fear of death is strong. Imagine having a fear of death. It costs you $240 a month. You're paying a death fear subscription? If you stop paying it, do you stop being afraid of death? My fear of death is free. My dreams are either too much of a blur or too realistic for me to realize I'm asleep. I feel like I never realize I'm asleep in any of my dreams. Which is generally an issue. I'm gonna just quickly recount the most fucked up dream I had, because this one kind of takes the cake of the most fucked up dreams I had. So my mate was driving. I was in the car with him. I was in the passenger seat of the car. He was driving. We were driving along the side of a cliff by the ocean. Driving along the side of a cliff by the ocean. And we were chilling. We were going around a corner. And then I look at him and his face has just gone blank. He stops turning the wheel. He's just blank. Now, we're round the main, like, run of the corner, right? So driving forward isn't going to send us off into the ocean. But there's, like, this little, like, man-made little structure-y area, kind of like sitting area, eatery, pull-over joint. And there's a wall. And we're going right for the wall. And I'm like, oh, fuck, oh, shit. Turn the wheel, slam. And then it all went black. And I felt myself flying through the air. And once again, I got to have the thought of, oh shit, that's it. That's all of it. We're gone now. We're done. And then everything stopped. And it, like, yeah, no. So that's the dream I had where I died in a car accident. Oh, you thought that was a dream? What does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean by that? What's the implication there, Mango? Maybe I should have, like, loudly said trigger warning before that. Because now that I think about it, maybe I should have considered more that maybe people didn't want to hear about the dream where I died. Because I did, like, go into quite a lot of detail with that. Because I remember it quite well. Because it fucking stuck with me. I don't know why the other one didn't stick with me as much. I think that was a dream I had right before I actually woke up. I find I remember dreams less if I go to sleep after having them. Right? Like, I don't know how similar you guys are, but if I, like, have a dream and then I go to sleep immediately after having the dream, I don't really remember the dream. Which makes sense. That's a pretty logical thing to happen. Trying to remember the dreams I had on holiday. No, I don't think I do. Mango really leaked the respawn mechanic released in the most recent update. I remember when someone in my class came to terms with death and started crying. Are you going to give context to this one? Because why was this in class? I choked on an Osu top play. I'm so washed and sad. No, you choked to death? Dude, we're talking a lot about dying today, aren't we? You don't know? Crazy stuff. It just happened? I feel like they didn't really come to terms with death if they started crying about it. Unless they were like tears of acceptance. You know, I feel like if you're crying about, yeah, huh? I feel like if you're crying about death, then you've not quite come to terms with it. You know? Do you think we're ever going to get to a point where VR becomes so realistic that we can just, like, and easy to, like, put on someone, that we can, like, put it on someone without them truly realizing and make them go through a very traumatic experience? Traumatizing my friend for life prank! It's interesting because I feel like pranks are less common on you, like, pranks were, like, a very big thing. No, he just said that he understood that they would see anyone or something like that. Wouldn't see anyone or something like that. I guess that is in a coming to terms with things in a way. But I feel like that's... That's depressing, that's what that is. Let's continue on to the segue about YouTube pranks. Because, like, everyone used to joke about, like, how shitty YouTube pranks used to be, and I feel like there just aren't that many these days. You know? I feel like they've faded from public consciousness. I don't know if it's, like, I feel like it can't be morals, because I feel like people's morals have gotten worse. You know, I feel like people are maybe, like, people should realistically be less ethical. Right? Maybe it's the people who like it, who like making that kind of stuff, who are less ethical, not the consumer. Because the consumers kind of latched onto kindness content, haven't they? Because that's what, Brad Podre, I think his name is? Scumbag Dad? I love a good Scumbag Dad video. Because you never realize it's a Scumbag Dad video until, like, a solid 10 or so seconds in, when you realize everyone's acting like a moron. And then you start looking for him in them. And then sometimes it's not even a Scumbag Dad video that's playing, and then he's just there in it. He's just there. You don't know if you've come to terms with it yet? I mean, that's fair. I feel like most people haven't. You know? I feel like most people firmly have not come to terms with dying. I feel like the amount of people who have is very much the minority. Well, aren't prankster today just harassing people in public? But even then, I just feel like those are, like, that's what I'm talking about. I feel like that content's less common these days, right? Unless I'm just on the right sides of the internet, where obviously I'm not seeing that anymore. I just feel like... You know... You know, I know. God love Scumbag Dad. God love Scumbag Dad. I was so sad when he had to change his name, but it makes sense because he was losing shit from it. You're chill with mortality? You seem like someone who would be. Like, in terms of people who I think would probably have maybe be more chill about their mortality, you come across as someone who would. You know. Ugh! Yawning. When I become like 40, I'd be so aged that I'd just go to sleep and never wake up and no one can hear my streams because I'm trapped. 40? Okay. Why is that? Mortality is necessary for sanity. I think I wouldn't go insane if I were immortal. I think I'd be fine with it. Everyone's like, oh, but everyone you know would die. And it's like, that's going to happen anyway. You know? Like, I feel like that's a pretty, like, common thing. Too bad it's not sufficient. Which, you gonna elaborate on this one? I feel like the answer might be a firm no, because you're at work. And I don't know if you're still painting these days. I think that's done, isn't it? Unless they decided that your painting skills were so good that that was like just gonna be your permanent job now. Even fucking John Lee went insane. No, he just got bored and wanted to move on. John Lee's issue was that, he, like, wanted to move on from being a god, right? He just wanted to live a normal life, right? If I were immortal, I just wouldn't get into a position of power. That's not the problem with immortality. Imagine drifting through space after the Earth has exploded. That would be chill. That would be chill. You'd get to look at the stars, right? You're not painting anymore. Devastating. Just move before that happens. Also, pretty good point. Like, obviously maybe humanity won't achieve space travel, but if we do, right, you can just hop on a spaceship. I would like to be immortal. I'm hoping I turn out to be. That is true. Anyone here could actually be immortal. None of you have died yet. But it would literally be forever. And... okay, no, alright. Let me explain to you here. Let me explain to you here these two different concepts that you're talking about. One of them, right, you stop existing. You're not a thing anymore. You're not a concept, you're just gone. You cannot touch, you cannot feel, you cannot taste, you cannot see, you're just gone. The other one, you've just float in space. Oh well, just start maladaptively daydreaming or something. The sun blows up, right, in 4 billion years. Assuming that we don't get space travel, you've got a thing to walk on around. You've got a thing to walk on around, right? You've got a thing to walk on around. For 4 billion years. By the time that's over, think about how, like, quick a day goes now in comparison to 5 years ago. That just happens. There will come a point where 1,000 years feels like nothing. So you're just chilling. But you still exist. After a point, you get to watch the last few stars fade away as the last bit of light dies out and you remain the only thing that exists and the only thing that will ever exist. Hey, there's a lot of assumptions going on there. But, oh well. At least I still exist. Think about how beautiful it must be to watch the last star die. You know? Like... at least the last star, and... I guess maybe it wouldn't be that beautiful to watch the last star die, actually. I'm pretty sure, like, the last star to die is going to be a red dwarf. So I think it would just, like, fizzle out. I don't think those guys have any kind of bombastic death. But, like... all the same. I could become like the supercomputer from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, or like Droidhead. I could think about so much. That's true, that's true. I do not think you quite understand the pain of complete and everlasting boredom. I have ADHD. I very much do. Unfortunately, I have the condition that means that sometimes there's nothing in nothing in conception that could possibly be fun. And what is there to argue about? I don't want to stop existing. You seem to misunderstand here, right? Boredom is preferable to not existing anymore. In one of those options, You don't exist. You just stopped existing. It's done. You're done. There's nothing. I don't want to do that. Personally, I'm quite a big fan of existing. Also, congratulations on your shiny bishop, Tobin. You gonna evolve into King Gambit? So it's like, would I delete my Minecraft save file even if there was nothing left to do? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna say yes. Overrated? No. King Gambit's sick. Like, if you guys would rather die than be bored, then sure. Go ahead. I don't know, man. There's also a theory where your consciousness jumps to an alternate universe where you are alive every time you die. I mean, yeah, that's quantum immortality, which is what Mango mentioned earlier. Which is very much the idea that, as you said, you literally can't die. In which case, we're all immortal anyway. I don't see what that adds to the argument. There's always things to do. You're going to collect rocks? Exactly. Imagine how many rocks you could collect. Dude. On, like, the grand scale of the universe, you could just become part of the planet. Which is quite funny. Imagine that. Just being part of a planet. Or even a star. You're here, Mango. You think that would be a thing, though? Live forever and slowly go insane, though? Yeah, like, yeah, you would very much slowly go insane. But, you'd still exist, so that'd be fine. Like, I'm not that sane to begin with, right? Like... yeah. I think I'd rather be insane than dead. Is my simple statement on that front. You already are sort of part of the planet. That is true enough, but I mean, like, in the rock. Imagine being, like, part of a planet's mantle. Imagine one day being thrust out of a volcano. That'd be pretty funny. Okay, theoretically, immortality means you live forever, and so theoretically you'd be alive long enough to go insane many times and land on maybe Earth-like exoplanets with humans on it. That is true. Really? Okay, which part are you really at? Is my question here. Because I've said a lot recently that you could say really too. You know? I feel like there's a few things I've said at this point that could warrant a really reaction by this time. To be honest, I forgot it was a bit ago. Alright. I'm gonna go toilet quickly after this encounter. You guys continue this discussion while I'm gone. Although I think most of you are against me, except Finn. Which is quite interesting. So I will be right back. Okie dokie, it's me, I'm back. Piss GG indeed. May not have a sub, but... Okay. By the way, death may not mean to the end of your existence, however, complete and eternal lack of stimulus, no seeing, hearing, feeling, etc. I'm as akin to not existing anymore. I mean, like, no, because you can still think. Right? Like, I don't know, Okay, I try not to get onto these topics, because I know it can be kind of controversial. The idea of life after death is, I think, a concept purely invented and come up with by the fact that we can't really imagine not existing. Right? Like, no one here can actually imagine the idea of them not existing. That's just not how it works. In queuing, like, jokes of people being like, I can imagine that. But, like... See, okay, cool, beat Mango to that one, didn't I? I'd be happy to be in disembodied mind. I fucking love thinking. Exactly, like... I think that there is a very low chance of there actually being a life after death. If there is anything akin to a life after death that I believe, that I could potentially see happening, it's just the idea that every time you die... Well, not every time you die, it's when you die, you, like, relive your life, start to finish, in your last seconds. You just go back through your memories, everything that's ever happened to you. And even then, that's a stretch, because, like, you forget shit, right? Like, there's no way that every single memory you've ever had is still locked in there, right? Like, I think there's a few mindfuck things that could potentially happen in your last seconds that mean that you don't die. But you do. You do die. And there's nothing after it. It's just dependent on how fucky your brain gets. If there is a heaven or hell, great. Would love to see it. If there's reincarnation, great. Hopefully I get to be like a cat in the next life. Not a cat boy, so I'm not a cat. But like a house cat, that would be kind of dope. That would be kind of dope. Or like, just like a house pet, right? Because then you'd just be pampered and loved your whole life. And wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that just be sick? You know? Here is a furry confirmed. I have tiger ears. Was this ever up for debate? Have you seen the emotes on this side of the fence? I don't know, I always find it funny. It's like, okay, maybe Kimono Mimi aren't furries. But I would still consider myself a furry. I always find it funny when people come in and like, are you a furry? And it's like, yeah. Were you expecting me to get defensive about this? It's actually probable, because I did hear that when you die, your brain activates areas related to remembering, so you may actually relive your key moments. Exactly, but I think the question becomes, how long does that last? Is that like a recursive thing? Where you live like your whole life over and over again? Because I'm not sure that that would be it. Like, I'm not sure that would last forever, is my point. But, it's actually kind of hot with that. I'm going to put it back on. Sorry, I turned it off when I left the room, because I was like, I don't need this anymore. But I've changed my mind. I do need it. I think your body basically goes turbo fight or flight and dumps adrenaline and stuff. That would make sense. But yeah, no, my general point is I do not believe that there's a life after death. And I quite like existing. So even if existing is hell, in a way, I'd kind of rather that to just not existing at all. You know? Because, like, unless we're talking about hell from the Bible, you know? Unless we're talking about literal hell from the Bible, you can get used to, like, stimulus. Right? Like, eventually you'll just get used to pain. how it is. Like, I think immortality, especially, like, floating in space, you would basically just, like, become now or nothing. But, like, you'd still kind of exist. And I think I'd rather that state than not existing at all. But I think that's fundamentally where this argument comes to a head. Because obviously you guys, a lot of you guys, don't want that. You would rather just be gone. Right? But what's it called? Like, we're at an irreconcilable point at this point, to be clear. We're not going to convince each other. The hell from the Bible, I'm pretty sure, is just disconnection from God. Very vague. I guess maybe not hell from the Bible then. Hell from Dante's Inferno. That's a good one. I never thought you were a furry because I would wear cat ears ironically. They're so cute. We'll unpack that one later. Sounds a bit furry to me. I don't know, I feel like Kimono Mimi kind of, which is, I guess, the only kind of word I know for people with animal features, like ears and tail and stuff. Like, I feel like those kind of features tend to, damn, autocorrect. Okay, what word there did autocorrect fuck up? Really interested to know which part of this wasn't your intent. Because it did make a very legible sentence. Maybe it's not a word. I'm starting to think you're just backpedaling. I'm starting to think you're just backpedaling. Because everyone, like, went, oh, when you said... You can wear cat ears if you want. You're allowed. Okay, no, you're standing by it. Good. Just not ironically. Is that what? Is that like what we're getting? Is it not ironically? I think ironic things are... People doing things ironically are funny, because if you do something ironic too much, it's always not ironic by the end. There's always a line, and it's not a firm line, right? It's a very, like, broad line, so you can't even see it when you're crossing it. That you just stop doing the thing ironically, and you're just all of a sudden just doing it. Right? You're all of a sudden just actually doing that thing. You know? Which I think is quite notable. I sent the image of the meme I was reminded of into the meme place. That sounds good. I will check the meme place later. As is always, and general. Well, it's just a text, so I can do a... If you were to shiny hunt on stream soon, what would you shiny hunt? Okay, so... I'm gonna go with... Hear me out here, this is a really abstract concept, so I'm not sure you're gonna get it. The Minccino at the beginning of Pokemon Black and White, you know? At, like, the beginning of the game's Pokemon Black and White, right? Like, when Professor Juniper's like, welcome to the world of Pokemon, this is a Pokemon, she sends out a Minccino, right? And that Minccino actually has a very slim chance of being shiny. Like, it's not shiny locked for some reason. It can actually be, it's actually, like, can be shiny. So I think I'd shiny hunt for the Minccino at the start of Pokemon Black and White. Anyway. Oh, I see. It's the big dicks in his brother's bum. Cat. What? Which one is supposed to be cat? Did we ever figure that out? Did we ever figure out which word was meant to be cat? Hey, 1, 2, 300. We're gonna get to 1, 2, 3, 4 in a moment. Wait, we're gonna get to 1, 2, 3, 4 in a moment, guys. Guys. How's it going? Hello, Felix. How goes it? I hope you've been well. Felix. Welcome to the stream. You arrived just in time for 1, 2, 3. Soon we'll get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 40 encounters, that's nothing. That's nothing. 5k points on it being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we want to do a channel point redeem on it being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Do you really? We can do a channel point redeem on it being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But keep in mind, there is going to be a correct option and we already know what it is. Okay? I'm gonna wait for anyone else to throw their hat into this ring, because it can't just be Mango. Is SFA there? SFA will say yes. I want to be clear, SFA is going to say yes. Okay, Finn has also said yes. But I don't know if SFA is here, is the thing. Start prediction. Shiny on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly. Alright, we'll do a 10-minute prediction period.
Hey.
Hello, Pumpkin. It's definitely not going to be that. That's like the thing. Right? That's the truth of the matter, is it's not. But, you know. Everyone here anyway? I mean, like, I don't think you can actually join in the bet. Because you're in Europe. You're in the European Union. Okay. Oh no, you actually could. That's interesting. You put it on yes. I like that there's 13,000 points on obviously not, mate. Which is interesting. I just saw it go up again. Oh my god, it's 27.8k! Holy shit! Imagine if the amount of channel points that will be exchanged if it's genuinely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be insane. It won't be. I want to be clear, it won't be. But if it is, it's 42.8k. It's 42.8k. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's insane. 77,000. It's Finn. I just realised it's Finn. Finn's balls still walling it, isn't she? She's putting all of her channel points on it. I think Finn and maybe Rob as well have both put all of their channel points on it being no. Which means, on the off chance that it actually happens and I get the shiny on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are the odds for the shiny Minccino at the start of the game? 1 in 8,190... Wait, so 92. Wait, it's at 97. It's at 97,000, I just realized. There are almost 100,000 channel points. That is half of the accursed word. That is half of the accursed word. If it's shiny, Travelair will have enough channel points to make me say the accursed word. Mango will, I think, be most of the way to the 15 minutes of it. So yeah, I don't know if any of you want to make a deal with the devil. I don't know if any of you want to make a deal with Satan to try and get the shiny on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but oh my god, it's 140. It's 140,000. Who's doing this? Who's doing this? Can you gamble without points? No, you need channel points, but it would work even if you had, like, 10. You could put 10 on it. Finn is out of points. Finn, if you put every channel point you own, oh my god, it's still going up. Holy shit. Holy shit. Finn, tell me what you're gonna do. Tell me what you're gonna do if you lose all your channel points. You wanna out? Yeah. Oh my god, Rob's also doing it. It's also Rob. They're both doing it. They're both doing it. They're both putting all of their channel points on it not being shiny. To be fair, this is probably one of the safest bets you could ever make. If I win this, I could do the big funny like right now. And you'd have every right to. And you'd have every right to. But I want to be clear, Mango. You have a 1 in 8,000 chance. 1 in 8,000 chance. And to be clear, if I get the shiny before, it doesn't count. I will actually cry. No, it's a 50-50. I either win or I don't. Shit, you're right. Of course. How could I be such a fool? It's a 50-50. Again, I like these odds. Holy shit. Holy shit. And yet, no, to be clear, Jellu, I'm not sure if you can because you're in the EU. But even if you have just 10 channel points, I think the amount of channel points you could get in the time it takes... The amount of channel points you get in the time it takes for the thing to run out, you'll be fine. You already bet your fortune. Oh, you've actually bet on it! Which is nothing, but gambling is gambling. Wait, if you actually put nothing on it? Which option have you put on? Which option have you banked on is my question. It depends on exactly what country. Oh, I see. It's not just an EU thing. I just kind of thought it was an EU thing. More you know. More you know. And now we gotta wait. I'm still reeling at this. I'm still reeling at the fact that Rob and Finn have put all of their channel points on it. $1K well spent. You killed 9 leader bishops and yours still hasn't evolved yet? Does yours have the leader mark? Remember it needs to level up after as well. I now kind of want it to be the shiny. And, like, obviously I want to get the shiny at some point soon. I am 12,000 encounters into this fucking hunt. This is... I think this might be my longest shiny hunt now. You know? I think this might be my longest shiny hunt. Ever. Just kind of whack. So yeah. I keep on getting the Steam notification that people are playing Peak. What's going on? What is Peak? Mango, you seem like someone who knows what Peak is. Can you explain Peak to me? Peak, innit? I see. Mod D Robbie bought it on his stream yesterday. He was like, here, do you have Peak? And I was like, no. If it's the shiny, my workday is effectively over. Because you're going to be crying the whole time? What? Or like, is Good Boy Point bankruptcy as good as actual bankruptcy? Climb mountain, I see. I've seen one thing of Peak, and it's the clip of Chibi Doki falling down, where she just does this guttural scream. Both. Like, it is an absolutely guttural scream that she emits. She impresses me with, like, how genuine her screams can be. I don't really... I see her mostly in clips. But she does a good job at that. That's a thought. Gura's back. I mean... what is her name? Is it... Sameko Saba? Is it? I think it's like Sameko Saba. I think there's a bug on your wall. Eat it. Yeah, I think it's Sameko Saba, which is not Gargura from HoloLive. It's someone else. Bit far away. Just use yours. Tongue. Like a frog. You know? You forgot to level it up. Oh no. I thought that might be the case. Not moved in a while? But also might just be wall damage, not moved in a while. I think we'll go up to it and lick it. And if it's a bug, you get a tasty snack. And if it's not a bug, you don't get a tasty snack. Okay, the betting period is over. So you all better sit tight and hold on to your hats while you wait for me to get through the next 23 encounters. I know, I find it quite telling, right? And that's the thing I'm going to be honest about. I find it quite telling that these VTubers keep graduating from their big corporate streamer companies and then coming back as other VTubers. Like, that's the thing I find funny about this. People are always like, oh, no, it's, we can't speculate and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, but let's be real, guys. These people are leaving, these guys are stopping VTubing, but then they're just VTubing somewhere else. Like, I don't know, I guess there's potentially more reasonable argument behind it, but I just find it funny. I'm just interested to see because, from what I understand about Gura, who's definitely different from Saba, but she very much got, like, let the pressure get to her, right? Which, fair enough. She was the face of VTubing in the West. Like, let's be real, right? Like, Gura was the VTuber over here. It's as simple as. So, like, I can understand why someone might feel the pressure from that. You know? Bonk? Where was I going with this? It feels like fucking everybody knows who Saba is, though, right? Like, everybody knows. No one is out of the loop on this one. Surely she's just thrusting herself right back into the exact same limelight. Maybe not quite, because she's not going to have HoloLive branding behind her anymore, but... Then again, now she's not backed by a giant corporation, she can get cancelled for being a lolicon. Like... We're just gonna move on now, I think. My branding a possible corporate pressuring her to make things... Yeah, no, that is true. That is true and fair. Alright, but, moving onward. Sorry, I was just looking at my terrarium. I've not had a proper, like, stare into it since I've got it back. I've seen that there are baby wood lice in it now, which is quite exciting. I'm quite excited that there are baby wood lice in there. That's quite cool, I think. Anyone bought any fun things on the Steam sale? Not yet. I'm not sure if I... Like... The main thing I have my eye on right now is Star Wars Outlaws. But I'm not gonna buy it at, like, a reasonable price. I'm waiting for that game to be £5. Right? When that game is £5, then I'll consider it. But I'm not going to buy it any more expensive, right? And it's going to be, I think, maybe. I guess the issue is it's not multiplayer like Suicide Squad was. Because Suicide Squad... Yeah, it's not only on 50% off exactly. Yeah, no, it's £30 here, which is out of my ideal price range for it. So I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that. Simple as. Shrimpless. Other than that, I'm just not sure what I'd buy on the Steam sale at the moment. I'm in between hyperfixation still, is the issue. I'm very much like, my blue box obsession has ended, now there's like no new content to bite into. I'm keeping up with the manga. I'm reading the manga when it releases, and that's exciting. Its current arc is a very interesting one, but I won't get into it because it's not really an arc. It's an arc that starts at the end of the anime. It's an arc that starts at the very end of the anime, right? Which means it's definitely not one I'm going to talk about because I don't want to spoil Pumpkin. Because Pumpkin is the only person I know who has actually watched it on my recommendation. Thank you again for that, Pumpkin. Yeah, no, it's good stuff's happening. I do find it interesting though. Oh wait, you bought Space Engineers 2 for 20% off? Nice. But yeah, like what was I saying? I feel like when you're reading through a manga in its entirety, right? It's easy to get bored by plot elements you're not interested in when you know there's elements you will be interested in coming up. So when there's a potential, like, subplot going on, you're like, oh, and then you read through it to get to the next part. But when you actively have to experience the subplot week by week, low-key invests you in it. When it's actually well written. Like, it was a subplot I, didn't care for much. And now that I've been, in it, and I'm stewing on it, I'm getting more and more invested in it, which is quite funny. To the point where I might go back and read some chapters that I borderline skimmed because they weren't, because I didn't find them interesting at the time. 12. 12 indeed. Well, 12, 333 actually. Yeah. The other thing I've been doing with my days, with my time, Animal Crossing. Basically, like...
11.
11. Basically, you know what? I'm gonna go on this tangent after, just because it's so close. Okay? That'll be the deal, is I'll go on the tangent after, just because we're almost there at this point, right? But I'll lead you in with the Animal Crossing Wild World. 10. Imagine if I get the shiny before. 9. Roo rat. I sure hope it does. You know, terrariums are cool. I love my terrarium. I want to make another terrarium at some point, but I want it to be, like, biologically separate. And I need to figure out how to do that. You know, I need to figure, like, I don't know, part of me maybe wants to make, like, a water one, right? Like, I think that'd be pretty interesting. But I need to figure out, like, a nice lush place to gather the detritus from, so I can actually have an interesting thing. Then again, you kind of question, at what point is a water terrarium, like, is it not more worth just having a fish tank? Right? Getting a fish tank, kind of growing some plants in there and letting them do their thing while, like, fish do their thing in it as well, you know? Six? No, actually, Mango, it's not. $720 encounters until we get the, until we get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you've done it the other way around there, so I can't make the joke that I did before, which is quite a shame. But, yeah. Alright, so interested to see whose prayers are going to work more here, because, like, there's the better odds at one of these options. I'm still, like, flabbergasted that Rob and Finn even, like, contemplated, let alone went through with it. This is the biggest part of your day. I'm honoured to hear that. Oh shit. Finn's praying more than Mango. Mango, you're gonna have to pray more than that if you want to get the shiny, because obviously the odds are stacked against you. That's a pretty good prayer. Doing the big one. Letting everyone see Guts' emote up close. I just thought it'd be funny to outbid Finn. Did you? Wait, how did you do that? He spent bits. You can gigantify an emote for 10 bits in the power-ups and rewards tab. There's also other stuff like on-screen celebrations, but I do not. I might turn that off because I look at myself on my, like, streaming software. So I don't think I'd see that if it popped up. Like, where's the option to spend? I can't find it. Is it not just in the channel points section? Alright then! Everybody! Eyes on the screen. We have almost 60,000 channel points. 160,000 channel points on the line here. For the encounter number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The odds are 1 in 8,192. There is a 1 in 8,192 chance that Dorsal Fin and Rob Coldridge are going to lose all their channel points. But that's a really unlikely chance. So like it's oh, like keep their channel points, I guess. Now to hope that I press the right button. 151,000. 151,000. I like that it was obviously not, mate. I have my hopes up as if it was a 95. It would have been really good. It would have been really good. It's funny because it's going to be like 157,000 channel points go to Dorsal Fin 1 and Rob Coldridge. As if that's not mostly just their refund. Imagine if it's the next encounter. Imagine if it's the very next encounter. Wouldn't that be insane? Minccino hates the bit. I have not wanted the Minccino on a specific number more than just then, just because that was that funny. You know. Like, that would have been genuinely hilarious, but oh well. Oh well. You hate to see it. I wonder if any channel points will be gained by someone actually thinking we'll get Minccino at some point. The issue is predictions expire, so I can't just preload. Oh, I just turned my fucking monitor off. I can't just preload the 13k. And I'm not going to preload the 13k. Not even gonna try. We'll do it the stream of, as always. Ugh. Cayorn. Cayorn. You know how it is when you cayorn. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, so, a while ago when it first came out, I got Delta, the emulator, on my iPhone. I mean, I don't emulate, but hypothetically, I got the emulator Delta on my iPhone, because I thought it'd be funny to play, like, Nintendogs on phone. Pizza's ready, you'll love to hear it! When you said Delta, you had your hopes up. For what? What? Deltarune. Oh, I see. No, right, yeah. I did not consider Deltarune because I forgot that... I didn't consider that Delta is the first half of that name. I need to play Undertale first. I've bought Undertale now. I bought it when it was mere pennies. Pickles, yeah? Your number's gonna go down in Discord, oh no. I'll play it one day, maybe. I know a lot about it because Twitter seems to think I'm interested in Deltarune. So I see a lot about Deltarune when it pops up. I've been seeing a lot about Phineas and Ferb lately as well. Like, The last week, my Twitter, I've somehow joined Phineas and Ferb Twitter.
Egg.
Egg. I've somehow joined Phineas and Ferb Twitter. Phineas and Ferb Twitter is an interesting place. Because a lot of Phineas and Ferb Twitter... You've been seeing everything that just came out recently? Yeah. The new content from chapters 3 and 4. Like, the TV twink. Is he? He might not be. I might be making an unfair assumption. Sticking an unfair label to Tenor there. But, yeah, I've seen it all just from Twitter clips, basically. Yeah, no, I'm on Felix's page here. Is saying character name spoilers? I don't know at this point. No, you can say character names. I know most of it. I know Sans fucks your mum, shit lips. I know that people are trying to figure out who the knight is. I've seen multiple theories and I've been like, ah, I see. Even though I have no idea what they're talking about. But, they should hurry up as to avoid getting spoiled. It's too late at this point, Jelly. It's too late. As in, I still might play it at some point, but I have been spoiled. But, anyway, back onto my bullshit. When I first installed Delta, the emulator, hypothetically, I tried doing Nintendogs, because I thought Nintendogs would be funny. Nintendogs, it worked fine. It was fine. But I only played it for like a day before I gave up. I just got bored of it. Nintendogs, I don't know how everyone... Like, I'm not a Nintendogs fan, I guess. It's just not a game I find that entertaining to play. I was like, oh, this seems like a great game to chip away at over time, but it just has not hit me. It just has not grabbed me. Nintendogs is not my type of game, and I'm sorry to all Nintendogs fans in chat. Probably just Felix, I'm going to be honest. But it's just not my cup of tea. I really admire your train of thought recovery. Or did you just look at your nose? No, that was train of thought recovery. I just really wanted to talk about this today. I did not write notes for this stream. Should I have? Maybe. But I've just been thinking a lot lately. Man, I can't wait to talk about Animal Crossing on stream. But yeah, spoilers. I've told you the punchline of this. I booted up Animal Crossing Wild World on my phone, and it is a great mobile game. Animal Crossing Wild World is a brilliant mobile game. I do not know why they bothered with Pocket Camp. They should have just ported Wild World to mobile. That would have worked fine. Genuinely just like a lovely game to chip away at slowly, right? Like if I'm bored, I just pull it out and I start fishing. I just fish for a bit. You know? And then I sell that shit to Tom Nook, and we're great, and we're good, you know? And I do my little chores with my other villagers and shit, and it's like, oh, hello, how's it going? You want me to catch a moth? It's the middle of the fucking day, Big Top. It's the middle of the day. I can't catch you a moth in the middle of the fucking day. By the time I can catch you a moth, you'll have going to have forgotten about it. Oh, wait, he asked again. I spent a solid, like, 36 hours every time I talked to Big Top. He wanted a fucking moth. Because he'd ask at times when there were no moths around, I wouldn't catch the moth, so then I'd go back to him later, and he'd be like, you know what I really want right now? A moth. Sure, man. Who's your favourite villager? Okay, so... Are we talking Animal Crossing in general, or are we just talking Wild World specifically? My Wild World save file specifically. In general. Shit, that's a hard one. Do permanent NPCs count? No, it has to be a villager. Has to be a villager. Bosco's pretty cool. He was one of my first in New Leaf, and I always thought he was pretty rad. But I feel like he's not my favorite. I'm going to have to dwell on this one. I'm going to be honest, Felix. I hate to say it. I'm really going to have to dwell on this one. Because I'm genuinely not sure. Your favorite's Fletcher? That's a good one. That's a good one. Damn, you win? You win? What do you win at? You played the multiplayer of Phantom Hourglass recently with a mate. That's pretty damn fun. Yeah, what's the multiplayer of Phantom Hourglass? Well, I also want to know what Felix has won at here. Anyway, I got spiteful today, though, I'm going to be honest. So, obviously, you start up Wild World, and then you have three people who were there first. I had Nan. Brady? He's a bear. He's a blue bear. And I had... Shit, no, I know this guy's name. I know this guy's name. Rocco. Rocco, Nan, and Brady. That might not be his name. His name might not be Brady. I might have forgotten it. But those are the three I have. They were pretty fun. They were pretty fun. That was a pretty good starting lineup. You know, then I got Big Top. I was chill with Big Top. Big Top was fun, except when he kept on asking me for moths. Rocco was fun, except when he kept on challenging me to fishing competitions. And I kept on getting pretty good fish. But he always looked at the fish and was like, no, these aren't good enough. My fish is better than yours. And it's like, no, it isn't, Rocco. You can't make the rules up here. My little guy was multicolored. There's no way in hell your fucking dace was better. Your dace is not better than my fish. You're lying to my face right now. Shut up. Fuck, man. Anyway, yeah, so Big Top. Then, Tangy. Tangy came into my town. That's right, the cat that's an orange. The orange cat. Very on brand for her. She gave me an orange. She also keeps on turning to me, looking me in the eyes and being like, I shrunk all my laundry in the wash. Can you get me a new outfit? And it's like, Tangy, you're doing bad at this. Nothing in Able Sisters will look good on you right now. Please. This is why I love your vibes. Why? Because sometimes I get really frustrated that Rocco keeps on scamming me in this fishing competition. Pisses me off. It's like turn-based control Link can carry heavy force gems back to base, while other players have to hunt them down by drawing paths for knights around the map. Huh. Is it because they're an orange and can't watch close? Maybe. Maybe. Anyway. All of this is ramping up to the fact that I committed a sin. Because I got even more irate at this game. After Tangy moved in, I got 3 ducks! 3 fucking ducks moved into my town, one after the other, on consecutive days. When it was 1 duck, I was like, I don't really like this villager. This is probably the most apathetic I've been about a villager moving in so far. And I would have been fine with it. I would have tolerated her. But the next one was a duck. And I was like, that's kind of dumb. I don't want another duck in the town. Why are there 2 ducks? My town up until that point was pretty fine and diverse, right? I forgot you were talking about a mobile game for a second. What did you think I was talking about? To be fair, Animal Crossing is a Nintendo DS. Animal Crossing Wild World is a Nintendo DS game. I'm just playing it on my phone. Like someone transported a couple of ducks into your town. I would be excited by that. That would excite me. Animal Crossing ducks, 3 of them, in Burger 2, horrid. That's too many. That's too many ducks. I used to save file editor and got rid of them all. I didn't move new villagers in or anything. I didn't. I didn't move new villages into the town. I just got rid of the ducks. But it is a mobile game. Genshin is, technically, you can get it on mobile. I wouldn't class it as a mobile game only, because obviously you can play it on multiple devices, but it's also on mobile. It's as much of a mobile game as, like, Fortnite is, which isn't a mobile game. I don't think anyone would argue Fortnite is a mobile game, but you can play it on mobile. But, yeah, no, some people might be mad at me for this. It's the only way I cheated even slightly, was just getting rid of all the ducks. Nook has not sold me a shovel. Tom Nook has not sold me a shovel since I joined this town. It rained on day 2. There are gyroids in the ground. I know they're in there. I want the gyroids in the ground, but I can't get them, because Tom Nook, every day I go into his fucking little Nook's cranny, and he's like, oh, what you got to sell, Tom Nook? A fishing rod and a net? I don't need a fishing rod and a net. I already have a fishing rod and a net. Those were, like, day 1 items. Those were day 1 items I had. I had them the whole time. I need a shovel so I can dig up the fossils for bladders. Because my fishing museum, doing great. The bug museum, doing great. I found a real artwork in Red's little tent. I found a genuine piece of art in Red's tent. So now that's got a thing in it as well. But I've got no fossils. It's got no fossils. Because the fuck, he won't sell me a shovel. He sold me a slingshot today. The balloons move really fucking fast, I found out. They're so fast. Playing anything like that on mobile sounds horrible. Animal Crossing or Genshin? Because Animal Crossing I'm going to stand by on mobile, but I think you're probably talking about Genshin instead. You know? Animal Crossing on mobile works great, though. You think Apple lost the court case to Epic about that? Oh yeah, Fortnite back on Apple, isn't it? Genshin is fine on mobile. It seems alright. Having like an open world game in your pocket seems kind of rad, to be honest. But like, Animal Crossing is such a low investment game, right? It's such a low investment game. It's such a chill game to just hop into, right? To just boot up and do some fishing, catch some bugs, talk to the villagers and stuff. It's such a low-key chill game that I don't get why Pocket Camp isn't just a genuine Animal Crossing. Wasn't just a genuine Animal Crossing game. They made it something else. Wild World? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Am I going to be talking about this in a week? Maybe not. We'll find out if I keep at it. But, like, it is lovely just sitting on the sofa and doing a bit of fishing, you know, chilling a bit. And I installed it out in Spain. I installed it when I was on holiday. That was fun. That was fun, just chilling out and playing some Animal Crossing in Spain. You know, just on, like, the balcony at night, just going around and doing some fishing. Fishing's harder in Wild World than it is in New Horizons, I'm gonna be honest. Not fished in New Leaf recently. It's been years since I played New Leaf. Longer than since I played New Horizons, which obviously was in 2020. Man, it's been 5 years since I last played Animal Crossing. That's kind of fucked up. Apparently Delta has multiplayer now, so, like, I wonder how multiplayer that multiplayer is. If you can, like, visit people's towns who are far away. Or if it has to be local. Because that might be fun. But, it's just fun. It's just... Animal Crossing is such a good game. It's such a good series. It's such a good franchise. And it's just very chill being able to, like, vibe on mobile. Because, like, Animal Crossing, I think especially Wild World, I don't know how it was on GameCube. I do not know how it was on GameCube, so do not quote me on this. But I know how it was on New Leaf, and I know how it was on... And I now know how it is in Wild World. And I know how it is in New Horizons as well. And those three are all very much like a dip in for 15 minutes a day game. Right? You play the game for like 15 minutes. You can play it for longer. You can play it for longer if you want. There are things to do that means you can play it for hours on end. But like generally, you're going to want to play it for about 15 minutes a day, right? Like, it's a low investment little daily game. Which is why they put it on the DS, right? Because the DS was like a little flip. You know? You're meant to put that shit in your pocket and take it places. Simple as. Right? Makes sense, is logical, is good. The mobile is the king of that these days, right? It's great for Christmas, you got gifted NES games, so you could build a whole library with the game, which was mental to you at the time. Yeah, no, I think I saw that. I'm not sure. Is that in Wild World? Because that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I didn't realize it was Christmas gifts. I just assumed it was, like, other things, but yeah, CahirLIVE recommendation of the day. Get Delta. Get Wild World. Like, the thing is, right? The thing with, like, mobile emulation is I swear most of the people who say they, like, emulate on mobile fucking don't. Like, they, like, post a picture from a second phone of them, like, playing Pokemon Diamond. And it's, like, the catching screen. It's, like, the catching screen. And you can guarantee they stopped playing the game maybe 10 minutes after that. They did not play anymore. Animal Crossing Wild World, just having that in your pocket at any given time is peak. Because you don't even need Wi-Fi for it. Clash of Clans, you need Wi-Fi for. Sims Freeplay, you need Wi-Fi for. And, I mean, to be fair, these days you have Wi-Fi everywhere. I got a new phone just before I went to Spain, which meant that I was on unlimited data and unlimited roaming, even in EU, which meant that I had access to 5G in Spain, which was absolutely gorgeous. Like, I've been to Spain without 5G, and it's like, you fucking feel like you're scrounging. Feel like you're scrounging trying to, like, connect to the Wi-Fi services. Just having it there and about, it's like, normal. You're living life normally. You're able to open Twitter whenever you want, like a fucking phone addict. But Animal Crossing gives you something else to open that isn't Twitter. Why doom scroll on Twitter when you can doomfish and have really shit reaction times and not be able to catch the big fish with the fin? I want the big fish with the fin for the museum, but my reaction times are so bad. You're sad it wasn't in Wild World? That's fair, that's fair. Is Genshin like 90 gigabytes on mobile too? No, it's smaller. I'm not sure how much smaller. Let's find out. Let's find out so we can convince Jalu to get Genshin on mobile. Genshin mobile size. 31 gigabytes. It is 31 gigabytes. It's like 40. You got it on PC, just curious. I see. It is not that. Traveler says 40 gigs on his phone. So, can't be much bigger. My phone now? I didn't realize this. Like, oh, I just turned my fucking monitor off again. Okay, wait, let me get that back on. Whoa, okay, that's an interesting look on the screen. Still pretty huge for mobile. I mean, obviously, but it's Genshin fucking Impact. I don't think... I would have been surprised if it was small. But, okay, so, when I went from iPhone 8 to iPhone 12, I found out that they no longer did a 32 gig, which is what I had on my iPhone 8, right? My iPhone 8 was 32 gigs. My iPhone 12 found out that the lowest they did on that was 64. I was like, alright, that's fine. Now I've got an iPhone 16. got an iPhone 16, by the way. I had it during my Genshin stream. I got it on my birthday, but this is my first CahirLIVE stream with the iPhone 16 tracking, which isn't different, I'm going to be honest, but like I wasn't really expecting it to be. I didn't upgrade for that reason. I upgraded from the 8 to the 12 specifically for tracking for VTubing, but View is 40 with all the quests uninstalled. Shit. It's only 36 on Travel-Airs. Travel-Air, do you have all the quests installed? Yes. Sounds like you're getting scammed, Pumpkin. I just find it funny that the last two times I've upgraded my phone, the storage has gone up by default. Well, not quite. You don't have RNR installed. You did delete some old ones at some point. I see then. That is, frankly, fair enough. I seem to remember it was about 36 to 8 when I had Genshin on your phone. I mean, that's... We're still in the same ballpark. I feel like it's safe to say Genshin on mobile is hovering around 40 gigabytes. Yeah. Alright, what brainwaves was I squeezing out before we... Completely unrelated. Is it more worth to make a new account for a starter bonuses, or start on an old account with basically nothing? Old account with basically nothing, because you can still build back up. In fact, I think that it's better to continue on with an old account, in my opinion, because you get something called Stellar Reunion, which is basically you're back on the game, here's a bunch of free stuff so you keep playing. And I don't think you get that if you start playing. So my gut is telling me you probably stand to get one. And if you need any, like, help with any dailies and stuff, I hear there's this really cool live streamer called Cahir is here. You follow him, actually. You follow him. But you already followed him. You know he's there. I seem to think back now... think that now a luxury phone back when I was in college had 2 gigabytes max. Exactly. That's what I was talking about. Whom's this Cahir is here? I don't know. I don't know, okay. It's great because I filled up my iPhone 12. The 64 gigabytes of my iPhone 12 full. So now I've got double that, which means I can save more shit memes. Love that for me. Need to still clear out all my old shit memes, though, I'm going to be honest. Really need to clear those out, because I have so many old shit memes, man. I need to have, like, a proper clear out of all my old, like, pictures and stuff. But I just haven't done it, because I'm lazy. I don't even need to save them, really. I can just get rid of them. Part of me doesn't want to get rid of them, because it's like, oh, but I liked those memes enough to save them. And send them to the... They're all in the Cahir cord at this point. I can delete all the new memes I've saved, because I've sent them all to someone. Genius. Okay, okay. I know hating on Apple's kind of like the cool thing right now. And I know people were really pissed off at it when it first released. But I really like that little black bar at the top of the 16. Right? Now, I know that I'm going to sound like a complete simpleton here, I bet. I'm going to sound like a complete simpleton. Because I probably do most of the time, let's be real. But I just love how it, like, adapts to what you're doing. You know, I love how it adapts and flashes and changes to what you're doing. Like, when you're listening to music, it'll show, like, the logo of the... It'll extend itself slightly to show the logo of the album you're using. Hating on apples? Apples are great. Are you a horse? Do you play Uma Musume? Oh, I started that. I'll talk about that later. Part of me isn't all that invested in continuing with it, but I might. Oh, Dynamic Island, yes. Like, right now, there's a little green dot there because it's recording me. Because, obviously, it's VTube Studio. And... Is that a horse thing? Yeah, Uma Musume is... horses if they were anime girls. And you, like, train them to race and win with them. It's... interesting. I got one of the 3-star rare horses, but I'm not all that fussed with the one I got, so... I like Vodka. She seems fun. The issue is this is very obviously a mobile game. And not meant to be played on computer, which I find funny. So you just ride anime girls? No, no one rides them. They just race. Horses racing on their own, exactly. Because they're, like, fully sapient anime girls. Apparently it's a TV show as well, which is pretty interesting. Do they enjoy it? Yes. They get very competitive, and after they all do a race, they do a big idol song. They do a big idol song, and then the winner of the race gets to be, like, the lead of the song. Which is such a fucking dumb idea. Like, it's such a stupid concept for a game that kind of makes me want to try and play it again. It's clearly working. It is. It is. That's the issue. Is it is working. Maybe I'll install it on mobile and try and drill at it on that. Because it's, again, very obviously a mobile game. I'll just have to see if I can connect my Steam account to my mobile. But, if I get into it and get into it hard, then maybe you'll see a Cahir is Here Uma Musume stream. So keep your eyes peeled for that, I guess. Keep your eyes nice and peeled. In case there ends up being a Cahir is Here Uma Musume stream. I'm not set on it. It's just a contemplation. I have always wanted to... Like, Cahir is Here, I've always been more willing to branch out on than CahirLIVE. Because Cahir is Here, I figured that I can branch out to other gacha games. Because, like, people who play gacha games very rarely only play one gacha game. I think. I'm pretty sure that's true. That better not take out a Genshin Day. No, I was thinking of maybe doing a Friday. You do? As in you only play Genshin? Yeah, I play Genshin Honkai Star... E? Honkai Star EL? You should play the Mario Party version. The what? The huh? You do, well, for the most part. I feel like... maybe I'm a bit more wrong than I realise, but... I'm gonna start your third one with Genshin now. Exactly. Jellu, I think, is more... Traveler plays ZZZ. Okay, so yeah, people often tend to dabble in other... Uma Musume Party Dash? Is that in English, though? Because I thought the big thing of Uma Musume Pretty Derby was the fact that it was the first Uma Musume game that was actually localized. Like once in a blue moon. I'd still count that, though. I still need to play ZZZ. Yeah. Play that stupid Pokemon Masters. I think if I was going to play a Pokemon gacha game, I'd probably play Pokemon TCG Pocket. Been in English for some time? Oh, I see. I'm wrong then. But yeah, I feel like if I played a Pokemon gacha, I'd probably play TCG Pocket. I played Masters when it released. I think it's still installed on my phone, I'll be honest. Wait, let me check something. Yeah, so, you know, I'll talk about that later. Yeah, I played Pokemon Masters on release. Are those really pay to win? Pocket and Masters? I don't know about Masters. I've not really caught up. I don't know about Pocket either, actually. I don't know about either of those. It's not a mobile game, though. Huh. Interesting. Masters just never really hooked me with this gameplay. Mostly Masters, but Pocket is just kind of do-nothing game anyway. I don't know what you do in Masters. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, you just choose your 3 guys and then they do the battling and you press the buttons at the correct time. Which is, I think, a lot of games, but it's not in an entertaining way. I think the bigger draw of Masters is very much seeing Pokemon characters. I find it funny that, like, I wonder if their sales had been dropping, right? I wonder if there had been issues with their sales, because they very much did go and introduce Cynthia in a swimsuit, which sounds like the break glass in case of emergency option, right? Like, swimsuit Cynthia must be a very highly requested thing for them to add, and they actually added swimsuit Cynthia. Like, it's funny to see the characters in Pokemon who are the fan favorites. Because right now there are like 17 Lilliolts and 17 Cynthia-olts. So, like, those are clearly the ones who sell the best. Which I find very funny. Limbus Company and Guardian Tales, because they give you the characters, so I don't gotta play the game. That's fair, that's fair. Uma Musume seems to have a mechanic where if you do enough pulls without getting the character you want, you can just buy them with the points you get from pulling. Which is interesting. But I'm not sure how much the vibe that is with you. I guess you're saying they just give you the characters, so maybe there's not even an up in the air whether you get the characters or not. Musume seemed quite generous so far, but I'll have to play. I'll see if I play more of it, because right now, again, my main mobile thing is Animal Crossing, just because that's a nice chill chip away daily doodad in it. You know? I know. I keep doing that. I respond to myself. I'm like, you know, I know. And it's like, what does that mean, kid? I've lots of E6 4-stars in Honkai Star Rail because they never release new ones, so the same ones are always on the banner. That is a big issue I've heard with Star Rail, is there's never new 4-stars. Like, Star Rail very much seems to be a game where they really focus on the characterization of the characters. So I wonder if that's part of it. I haven't really heard anything about Honkai Star Rail since ZZZ released. The Star Rail definitely seems to be a very, like, different vibe of gacha in comparison to ZZZ and Genshin, in my opinion. I've still heard a lot about Star Rail. Star Rail people are very invested in the characters in Star Rail, right? Genshin and ZZZ, people tend to be more invested in the character designs, right? Like, when you see someone talking about, like, a ZZZ character, most of the time it's, whoa, this guy's really hot. Sorry, I should be more accurate here. Whoa, this girl's really hot, you know? Like, When you see people like talking about ZZZ, like the 2 times I've not seen people talking about how hot a new character is because they're shipping them with a different character. It's like a side game. You don't just play it on hours on end like Genshin or ZZZ. I see. But Star Rail is a game people seem very invested in the characters as characters, right? When I see people talking about like Star Rail characters, they're talking about the characterization, and like you rarely see like just regular first stuff for Star Rail. What's the gameplay like? It's turn-based. That's all I know about it, really. The main 2 things I know about Star Rail's gameplay is turn-based, and the power creep is horrible. For like endgame content, you need newer characters for it generally, because they just keep power creeping old ones. You can do auto battling, but the AI is kind of bad. I mean, that makes sense. It tends to be. I remember Fire Emblem Heroes had auto battling. Has auto battling. It's still around, I just don't play it anymore. That's another very bad power creep game. That's another very, very bad power creep game. But I feel like it's easier to get 5 stars in Heroes. It's like a 3% chance rather than whatever minimal chance you have in Star Rail. Minccino is the same, to be fair. I think you very much need to stack up on repeat characters to get the strongest characters possible. From what I understand. From what I understand. The best thing about Gacha is the weapon banner. Or the Gacha is the weapon banner. As in Star Rail, or, No, you haven't played him recently. I've heard that there's another, like, open world city gacha coming out soon. I think the main thing I actually heard about... No, I've heard bits and bobs about that game. And then recently I heard that it's being accused of stealing Wuwa animations, which I find quite funny. We'll see. I might try that when it comes out. Because it might be an idea to, like, kind of grow the channel, if that makes sense. Play the new game. See what it's like. Play it off stream, grind it up. Fucking hell, that frightened me. I'm not sure if you just heard that. I don't know if that was an ambulance or a police car, but it was something, and that was... Like, I thought it was the cat at first, right? I thought it was the cat starting to meow, and then it wasn't at all. It was, like, a siren. That scared me a bit. Really hate it when games, aside from characters, you have unique weapons, you need to max them out too. That's fair, that's fair. I can't slate that as an annoyance. I mean, yeah, most Missy, not Missy. That was not Missy at all. That cat has missed me so much. I did not, like, she is not, I've been on holiday before. I've been on holiday for longer since I've gotten her. This is the most she's ever missed me. It's low-key adorable. Before I left... Oh! Okay, so my iPhone 16 does this weird thing, where, like, if a graphic's on screen for too long, it'll get really fucking bright for no reason. I think that's happening right now with the camera, with the little light that tells me that the camera's on, because it's gotten really bright over the course of this stream, and I'm trying to figure out, maybe it's not that's what's happening. But, like, on Instagram, like, the little, like, camera in the top right, they'll tell you to stitch the reel or whatever. If you scroll enough, it just becomes fluorescent. Just shining really brightly in the corner. It's really confusing, and I don't know why it does it, but I'm wondering if that's happened to this as well. Anyway. It used to be when I, like, shifted in bed and stuff, Missy would, like, scarp her. She would leave, she would go. But the past couple of days when I've shifted her in bed, she comes up to me and, like, headbutts me. I was like, hello, I'm so happy you're here again. And it's adorable. It is genuinely so sweet. You know? Like, she used to be so quick to run, and now she's just... It's funny because when I got back, I took one look at the bed. There was a Missy-shaped mark on the bed from the amount of hair she shed in this heat. Well, she must have just slept in the same place over and over again. Because obviously she missed me like fuck. Yeah, because obviously she missed me like fuck, so, she burned her silhouette onto the bed where she was sleeping. Which was also kind of adorable, but meant that I had to change my bed. It was always my plan to change the bed, right? So I didn't want to change the bed before I left, because I was worried she'd throw up on it while I was gone. So it was always my plan to redo my bed once I got back anyway. But it kind of made it a more urgent business because of how much of her hair was on that bed. I would have woken up covered in her hair. I would have, like... Okay. Like, the Catboy allegations would have been much harder to diffuse if I was covered in, like, if I was covered in cat hair. But, she's funny and a dork, and I'm glad she missed me, because I also missed her. Animals are so funny. I also feel bad for her because it's been so hot lately and she does not cope with the heat. I sent that picture to the Discord of her just trying to, like, sunbathe under a pot. Not sunbathe under a pot, hide from the sun under a pot. My cars make it that I can't wear black without it looking white. That's fair. I used to have that issue, but Missy has black hair, so I'm fine with that now. She just, like, lies down and spread eagles on the patio. Normally she's, like, a very, like, tight sleeper? How do I put this? She curls up most of the time, right? Missy likes to curl up tight. She likes to loaf, she likes to curl up. In the heat, she very much kind of, like, spread eagles herself. And I feel bad because she's so hot and she doesn't deserve it. Your car's love to sunbathe and your girl got sunburnt? Wait, what? No! Missy sunbathes not as much. Doesn't help that she has black hair. She will cook herself sometimes, and then she'll just stumble back inside and it'll be like, you proud of yourself? You think you do a good job there? Silly creature.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Ba ba da ba 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 da bow. La 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 la.
Alright, I'm looking forward to getting back onto the Cahir's Here channel as well. Like, I don't know, again, like, I've taken streaming breaks in my time, but this is very much the biggest one that I've come back to it so excited to stream again. You sound like that small lemur from Madagascar. I am Mort. I remember a few years ago people kept on, like, talking about Madagascar lore and how Mort is some, like, eldritch creature, and it was like, okay. Why not? I think there are Mort video essays on YouTube about big, sinister Mort theories that I watched when I was interested. King Julian's the lemur, but he isn't that small. Yeah, the pumpkin means a Mort, I think. Yeah, they do. Um, but I always find it funny. Is there any other thing I was going to talk about in the context of the mobile phone? I feel like there was at some point, but I can't remember. I found out it's got a dedicated camera button, which is interesting. And then I found out that there's multiple different kinds of iPhone 16s, because my dad has an iPhone 16 that is entirely different from mine. I don't know much about animals. Does that guy want to? I don't think he is. I don't think... We're gonna Google this. Madagascar. Okay, he's definitely not a lemur. Goodman's mouse lemur. Okay, he is actually a lemur. Okay, and then under this it says bear, starfish, sand, potbelly pig, cactus, ball of copper wire, wood chips, possibly bird, guano, sawdust, spider, owl, and fish. What does that mean? Age, at least 50 plus. He's got 2 ex-wives, 10 more deceased ex-wives, unknown children, implied, never mentioned, Grandpa Mort, grandfather, absorbed, Grammy Mort, grandmother, absorbed. This is what I mean by Mort lore, man. What the fuck were they doing? Like, I can... Like, what's going on? For some reason, there is a 16 with a new button, and there's a 16 without the new button, I believe. And there's 16C, which has weird functions. Yeah, I think my dad has the 16S, which doesn't have the little island, and doesn't have the take a picture button, and only has one camera. But what is a mouse lemur? I don't know. It Mort. Oh? I think Felix was just surprised at Mort having absorbed his grandparents. So, I think I talked a bit about the ring, the fidget ring that I've had, that my friend 3D printed for me. But for my birthday, they gave me a 3D printed Switch X. Which is like a great fidget toy, because it actually switches. It actually switches into sword mode. This is sick. I've been fiddling with this non-stop since I got it. Alright, like, I obviously went on okay, I've not been fiddling with it non-stop since I got it, because I went on holiday. But, like, given the opportunity, it's great. It's great. I love this thing. It's funny because I've been getting reinterested in Monster Hunter Wilds lately. I did a few more runs on it last night, which is great because there's just been a new update that's added more monsters and quests and stuff that I get to do. So that's fun. I'm not sure if I'll do those tonight or, I mean, maybe tomorrow? I could do it tomorrow. We'll see. I might do it soon, is the point. Because it's like the Lagaricus, which is this giant water one. This Wild's actually good because the reviews are kind of down. From what I understand, there was a big, like, issue with its performance that they've now fixed. I never really had the performance issue. I'm guessing it was on higher graphical settings, but there was a big performance issue with it that meant that it got review bombed. But, personally, I found Wilds really fucking fun. I don't know, I checked because it was on sale and people overall just didn't like it. Again, yeah, I think that was because of the performance, but my Wilds review is... it's got some really fucking fun fights in it. I think they might have gotten a bit shorter from, like, some other Monster Hunter games, but personally I'm not all that fussed about that. Monster Hunter Wilds is yet another Monster Hunter game that really makes it feel like you're fighting a giant fucking monster. and really puts that pressure on for it, which is really fun and enjoyable. I really like just tearing into a giant fucking monster. It's a really satisfying and fun feeling. It's got some really interesting monsters with some really interesting like abilities and mechanics. Multiplayer is a bit convoluted, but I think most Monster Hunter games multiplayer is a bit convoluted, so like that's just kind of to be expected. I pressed OBS there, which meant that I'm not sure I even... yeah. I need to sleep, so goodbye, femboy! Oi, I'm a fem man! You know? Rob enjoyed it too. It's about 50-50. 126k positive, 116k negative. Yeah, people have really turned on it lately. People have noted that the concurrent gameplay is down and stuff. You scared the daylights out of me. It's just how it is, I'm sorry. If you blame anyone, blame Pumpkin for calling me a femboy. And then has called me a femboy again. You're just jealous of my pretty eyelashes. I haven't heard of the femboy allegations, but I see it. I wouldn't say I'm a femboy. Am I the most masculine man in the world? No. Is green Cahir more feminine than orange Cahir? Yes. But there's nothing wrong with a bit of androgyny in a guy. There's nothing wrong with a bit of androgyny in a guy. Men are allowed to serve. Men are allowed to serve. Orange one is still around 50 or so. No, I'm not. Also, I have pretty eyelashes out. I also have pretty eyelashes, actually. So you're a femboy too, is what you're saying? Alright. But yeah, no, Jelly, I would really recommend Wilds. I thought Wilds was really fun. It's complicated. I don't know why that response gets me so much. Fair enough. Fair enough, Pumpkin. I can't slate that. I think I just wasn't expecting such an answer that I guess seems so genuine. It's complicated. Fair enough. In the military, July 1st in 2 hours. In the military, July 1st in 2 hours, where does time go? Why did you preface that with in the military? But yeah, no, it's July 1st in 2 hours. That's fucked up. I don't like that. It feels like my birthday month was beginning just a few days ago. It doesn't help that I've gone on holiday. That generally makes time speed up as well, but like, fuck, man. Most reviews are performance issues, or people who played the previous games and didn't like the direction. Yeah, no, that's generally what I'd see from it. But honestly, like, okay, no. The only other Monster Hunter game I played is World. And I know World is very much a game that started steering in the direction Wilds did, so, like, my opinion's going to be tainted by that. But I guess I can't really comment on gameplay-wise, but I like how Wilds focuses on the ecosystem of the area so much. Because from what I understand, Elder Dragons are, like, a big thing that are kind of entirely absent from the ecosystem. Like, maybe they have broader effects on the ecosystem, but they don't really interact with it. But then they have the Apex Predators and stuff in Wilds, and the Arkveld and stuff, which kind of all play into this really cool batch of ideas and stuff, in this, like, world that's very immersive and alive. You know? And again, like, Monster Hunter does a really fucking good job at making you feel like you're fighting a giant monster, and I think Wilds does it just as good as any other. If you're interested in the Monster Hunter series, I'd really recommend Wilds, because it's not like you're going to have the jaded old games were better opinions of it, and additionally, the performance issues have been fixed in the latest update, so that shouldn't be a problem. I think Wilds is a pretty fucking damn good game, and it's probably one of my favourite games of the year so far. trying to think of what other games even came out this year that I played. Because there aren't many. You don't want to go to sleep now? Understandable. Monster Hunter does that. Who doesn't love a good conversation about Monster Hunter? I will be ending soon, though, so I guess that'll help. I don't think I'll go on for much longer. Maybe I'll go till 1, 2, 4, 6. You know? But yeah, no, my apologies, Pumpkin. But I gotta get my beauty sleep. I'm up early tomorrow. So I can't just loaf around and stream all night. But I will be live again on Wednesday with Genshin. We'll be returning to Genshin. I'll be doing... I should get another 5-star in Genshin. Will it be Shenhe? I don't know. Will it be Shenhe? Hopefully. But I do not have a good track record with 50-50s, and I did just win one, so... Or I did win 2 in a row, but... What are you even doing? Right now? Or in Genshin? No, tomorrow. Oh, I got work. Or the closest thing to work I do, I guess. I wouldn't consider it a real job. But you know. Anyway. I wouldn't consider it a real job in the sense it's volunteering work. Is what I'm trying to say. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I've talked about it before. Good. Good, everyone's in the loop. Need actual job, do volunteering stuff for now. Unless you lot give me £500 a week. That's right, if you give me £500 a week, I can just do this all the time. I can just do this all the time. That's what I need, is a really rich fan who wants to have sex with me that I can lead on and get kind of parasocial with. And then they'll fund my VTubing career. You know? You got one of those two things. What were the two options again? £500? Life goals, exactly. Rob gets it. Bing, bong, bing. Bing, bong, bing. It's weird because hot showers are kind of nice in this kind of weather. Because after you get out of the hot shower, you get cold. And that's good. No, actually, I almost am. Sorry, I was thinking I might not have drunken as much this stream as I was expecting to, but no, it seems I have. Or I have almost finished my bottle. It's a good bottle. It lasted me over a year at this point now, which is good because the old one didn't before it started getting really manky. I think it barely lasted 6 months. Or jump in a cold shower and or jump in a cold tower and lower your core temperature. I just kind of added in speedrun into that, but I kind of stand by it. No, I hate cold showers. I do not have the strength of cold showers, and I'm willing to admit it. Alcoholic! I didn't even have anything to drink on holiday. I just don't drink. I just don't. Honestly, I say like, oh, I didn't even have anything to drink on holiday, as if multiple things happened that holiday that made me realize why I don't, and reminded me why I don't. You know? Like, there were a few good events there, where I was like, oh yeah, this is why I avoid alcohol. This is why I don't do that. This right here. I do not want to be drunk. What events? Maybe I shouldn't have even referenced them. Because they're a bit personal, you know? Private. Holy shit, you didn't drink all holiday? Are you okay? Yeah, no, I'm really dehydrated. No, but to be real though, I basically lived off of, like, Coke and Pepsi that holiday. And... shit, that was such a bad idea. Like, I got back, right? I got back, and I was like, okay, 2 PM, I haven't had breakfast. I should have gone into the airport story, actually. You know, I'll write that down, and maybe I'll talk about it on the Genshin stream on Friday, because I can talk about the airport story, because that was stressful. Not to do with me being drunk, though. What was it called? Where was I? Yeah, no, so I got in. I was like, I need breakfast. I need something to eat. And I kind of went into the fridge and, like, opened it, got a Pepsi out, walked, like, in, was almost about to pour it, and then I looked at it and I was like, actually, I'd rather just a glass of squash right now. I would just rather a glass of squash. I've never, like, okay, I know this has become memeable with specific content creators, specific right-wing grifter content creators, but water, I don't like the taste of it. I'll drink water. It's not like I need to drink something else to wash out the taste of water from my mouth or any bullshit like that, but I can taste how chemically it is. I can taste that shit. This isn't like oh, I'm tasting the taste of my mouth. No, I can taste how chemically that shit is. I can taste how plastic-filled it is when it's water, when it's, like, bottled, right? Like, I can... What content are they really creating? Nothing of worth. They're creating content for the rats. Right, I need to be in the fridge for several hours first, and then it doesn't. Right? Okay, cold water, I'm chill with. Yeah, no, you're right. We see eye to eye on this. Cold water, I'm a lot more chill with. And in general, like, I can drink water, right? I don't, like... It's not like I can't drink water at all. But, I'd just rather have it taste of summery fruits and Vimto. You know, I generally have squash and stuff, but I try to drink a lot of squash, because that is still water. The tap water's pretty cold, but not cold enough. We're talking fridge cold, Jello. Okay, it's not the most fun, but given the example, my mum and sister used to use up all the hot water while living at home. I really needed one. I jump in a cold shower. Oh, I see, you were talking about the shower, not getting drunk. I know the feelings, that's why I got a water purifier. No, exactly. Okay, I'm glad that people are... Snob. I'm glad that people are agreeing here. You're so posh, like, I can taste the chemicals in this Fiji water, undrinkable. Yes, exactly. No, I'm not posh, I'm autistic, pumpkin. I'm not posh, I've got autism. It's... a bit of a different issue there. It's just how it is. I don't think I've ever drunk Fiji water. Maybe I'd like Fiji water. But, like, smart water and tap water just doesn't do it. So I generally... I'm a bit of a squash drinker. Is what I am, is I drink squash. Vimto squash to be specific, but, like, these days, I don't know, I feel a bit, like, I wonder how much ground I can really stand up being like, you should drink water. You should drink water when I'm, like, a squash drinker, but, like, Pepsi and stuff? sodas, fizzy drinks, I am no longer, like, I realize how little my thirst is quenched by them these days. And I didn't fully realize it until I got back from Spain. But I was like, I like, thought of the idea of having squash, and I was like, shit, no, we're doing that. I didn't even want the Pepsi. I was like, you know what, fuck it, squash. I'm having something actual. So next time I go on holiday, I need to make sure I get some squash out there, I think that's the dub. So I love a good bit of squash. I love some proper fluids. No, not that one. Maybe not that one. Alright. We'll do 2 more encounters and then we'll end off for the day, I think. I decided to bump up the extra 10 because we had the water conversation. But yeah, I think I might try and tell the airplane story next stream because... the airport story next stream, because it was a stressful time. Guess what's with time? You used to literally be able to hydrate with milk. Now I need a lot of water to stay it off. You're not just a milkman anymore? Fraud. Fraud alert. Get this man on fraud watch. I can't believe I used to respect you as the milkman. Alright. 124970. There we are. There we end for the day, I think. Can't afford to be because the migraines happen. Ah, okay, no, that's fair enough. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a great time. Shame we didn't get it this stream. Shame there wasn't the funniest channel points transfer in history. But you know how it is. Maybe we'll get them to do that again at some point. You know, we'll force them. But thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a great time. Cahir is here. We'll return at 7:30 GMT? BST? I think it's GMT at the moment. No, is it BST? I think it's BST. We'll return at 7:30 BST on Wednesday, so be sure to stop by for that, for the return of Genshin. Because that would be very cool and fun. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you all have had a great time. I certainly have. I'm very happy to be back streaming again. And I will see you all on Friday, probably, unless I get really into Uma Musume over the next few days, in which case maybe I'll stream that instead on Friday. But we'll have to find out. That's unlikely. That's an unlikely scenario. I'm going to go now. Goodbye! Thank you all for coming, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Goodbye, and good night.